students. I, Divya Meena, Assistant Professor, English Literature of Government Girls College, Sikandra. Welcome all of you in the class of English Literature of BA Part, second year. We have already studied the general introduction of the poem The World is Too Much With Us, written by William Wordsworth. Now let us begin with the explanation of the poem. I am going to recite the poem. The world is too much with us, late and soon, getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our heart away, a sordid boon. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling all hours and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. So, in the beginning of the poem, the poet says that the world is too much with us. It means we are indulged in this world too much that we don't have time to look at nature. Here the poet rejects the city life and says that we are engaged and we are busy in this world with the worldly affairs and getting pleasures which are materialistic. Late and soon. Late and soon means every time we are busy in this worldly affairs, we are busy in gaining the materialistic pleasure. Getting and spending. Getting means we are busy in getting money. We are busy in earning money and spending. And every time what we have gained in this world, we are spending that money for collecting more and more materialistic things. We lay waste our powers. We are wasting our powers in this world. Our only motto has become that we should earn money and spend on getting the materialistic pleasure. Therefore, the poet here says that we are wasting our energies, our powers that we should spend on appreciating nature. Little we see in nature that is ours. Here is a note of remorse. The poet repents here that nature is ours. Nature gives us natural things which are really ours. God made us, and nature is also made by God. And the materialistic things are made by man. So, in real sense, the nature is our real companion. But we have very little time to see nature, it means we don't have time to look at nature and appreciate the beauty of nature that is originally ours. We have given our hearts away. It means that we are engaged in the worldly affair, that we don't have time for spirituality. We have taken our hearts away from this natural world, a sordid boon. Here the word sordid means unworthy, useless, mean, and boon world means gift. So the poet wants to say that we have taken our attention towards gaining the very unworthy and mean things which are given by this materialistic world. We don't have time to look and see and appreciate nature. That is why he gave in the next line the example from nature. This sea that bears her bosom to the moon. This sea. The poet says here that the sea that bears, that reflects her bosom on her heart to the moon. It means that when we see at sea or a ocean in the night time, when the moon is in the sky, we see a reflection of moon on the surface of sea. It seems like as if the sea has wear the moon on her heart. This is an imagination. The winds that will be howling at all hours and are up gathered now like sleeping flowers. Again, the poet gives here the example of wind. The wind that will be howling. Howling means roaring, making loud noise. The wind that will be howling at all hours. At all hours means in the daytime. So the poet says here that the wind roars during the daytime and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. But during the time of night, it becomes quiet and calm, like the sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. For this, the poet says here that for this word refers to the nature, for the sight of nature, for the beauty of nature. For this, for the nature, for everything we are out of tune, and for everything which are given to us by nature, we are out of tune. It means the natural beauty does not affect us anymore as we are busy in gaining the materialistic pleasure. It moves us not. It here refers for nature. So the poet says that nature does not move us, we are not affected by the beauty of nature. That is really ours, and we have lost our spirituality and engaged only in gaining the materialistic pleasure. Great God, I would rather be a pagan, suckled in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on the pleasantly, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn, have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. Now, in these following lines, the poet wants to escape from this materialistic world and wants to go back in past time when people used to be the firm believer of nature and used to worship nature. So here I am again going to recite the lines of the poem. Great God. Here the poet appeals to the God. O great and mighty God, I would rather be a pagan. The poet wants to be a pagan. Pagan are the most simple and innocent people who believed in so many god and goddesses of nature. They worship them. They belong to the Greek and Roman mythologies, and their religion was of before Christianity. As they were more inclined towards nature, therefore, the poet himself wants to be a pagan. He wants to be a true worshipper of nature. Therefore, he urges to the God that God, I want to be a pagan. I want to go back in the time when pagan used to be the firm believer of God. Suckled in a creed outworn. Creed means faith or religion. Outworn means obsolete or out of time. It means the pagans were the people of past whose religion has become now totally obsolete. So might I. So the Wordsworth says that if I would be a pagan, I might standing on the pleasant lea. Lea means meadow or a pasture. So the poet says that I would stand on a pasture that would give me pleasure. Therefore he say pleasantly. Standing on a pleasantly, the writer says that I might stand on a pleasantly if I were a pagan, have glimpses that would makes me less forlorn. Have glimpses. Glimpses means insights or sights or seen. So the poet says that I would see the sights that would make me less forlorn. Forlorn means unhappy and lonely. So the poet expresses his feeling that in this materialistic world he feels lonely and unhappy. But if he were a pagan, then he would go to the nature and stand in a meadow, and there he would see the natural beauty and enjoy the natural beauty that would give him company, and that would make him less unhappy. It means that would give him happiness. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, and there, after standing on a meadow, he would look at the sea or an ocean, and there the poet wants to see Proteus. Proteus is a sea god who is son of Oceanus and Tethys. So he would see there the sea god Proteus, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn, or here and there he would hear the goddess Triton. Triton is also sea god who used to, it is believed that, who used to blow his conch to calm down the waves of the sea. So the poet wants to see the sound of that horn or of that conch that comes down the waves. So through this line we see that the poet is a poet wants to escape from this materialistic world and wants to go back to the nature, which is the true source of pleasure.